From Julio Cruz and Gaylord Perry to Alvin Davis and Harold Reynolds to father and son back to back bombs. From Junior J, Joey, and Edgar with Randy, A-Rod, Dan, and the Sheriff to Ichiro Moyer and Mikey C to King Felix, Kyle Cruz, and Cano to the present with Julio, Gilbert, Kirby, and Cal. I don't believe it. It just continues. My, oh my. It's another sports podcast. My, oh my. The Final Four is set. Major League Baseball's in full swing. We got the Masters a couple of weeks away, baby. But my, oh my, it's another sports podcast. We are stoked the Mariners are playing, but they might be in the middle of the news right now. We got to give a huge my shout out to our homie, super producer Indy, rocking the ones and twos out there in Nashville, Tennessee. That's Vaden Podcast Services. Vaden Podcast Services. Want to give a huge shout out to all the homies in the live chat. Y'all have been a critical part of this show. We thank each and every one of you. But y'all know Albuquerque's finest, RG, cooler than them polar bear's toenails. What's going on, bro?
Man, a lot to get into today. Let's hop to it, man. So, mic check, mic check. Can you hear me?
We got your back, bro.
All right, cool. A lot to get into, man. Let's go to work.
Let's do it, baby. Okay. Major League Baseball is on the top of our minds right now. Let's just get into that right now before we dig into the NCAA tournament. So, the Mariners were 2-2. Oakland A's, not fantastic.
The who?
At, le- at least we're 2 and
The
2.
who?
Oh, okay. I messed it up right off the very bat. The Sacramento A's. We can't call them Las Vegas till they have a proper home there. They're the Sacramento
Can't
A's.
call them Sacramento either. They're just the Athletics.
They're just the team from California.
Just
Well,
the team
whatever
from
the hell
California.
these dudes are, I'm gonna call them the Philadelphia A's at this point because I guess I'm tripping all over the place on this one. But RG, man, this is a better team than most people think they are because we got to see them enough. That still is no excuse for an abysmal offense. Awesome starting pitching overall, and a bullpen that completely disintegrated at times. But 2-2 in a 162 game season could be a lot worse. But just tell me what you think so far, man.
Well, I'm not going to share your sentiment about awesome pitching. We got one good pitching performance, two terrible pitching performances, and Wu did what he was supposed to today and got bailed out at the very end. I'm just going to get into it with my boy LOG, the OG, DOWG, Logan Gilbert. That's what an ace is supposed to look like during opening day. That's what an ace is supposed to carry himself look like during opening day. That's what an ace is supposed to do. Now, did he give up the one home run? He sure did. But the man was out there 7 innings, commanded the strike zone, got his stats right here. And of course, my screen goes crazy on me. 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. One of the one he gave up the home run. It wasn't earned run. 8 strikeouts. Did what he was supposed to do. That's what I expect from the ace. And then the guy we should have traded in the offseason gets up there almost like he didn't fucking want to be there. Had a one not a great start for Luis Castillo at all. And it
Oh,
teemed it
they had the
it it
same outing.
it not. It's not. No, it's not. No, he did not have the same outing. You are not going to sit
Both
here
gave up
and
one bad
defend him
pitch.
first night
One
out.
bad pitch each.
First night out. A 7-0 loss. You are not going to sit here and defend it and tell me he had the same start as the LOG, the OG. 5 innings, pitched 3 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, 2 walks, 4 Ks, a 3.50 ERA. You're not going to tell me that that's what LOG, the OG did. Not his best work. Not his best work
Can't
at
call it
all.
terrible. Each
At
guy gave
all.
up really one bad pitch.
No, no, no. We are not going to start making excuses for these dudes fresh out the bat already. Tired of that. We are not going to make excuses for them. We need them to win 88 games to get us to the playoffs. We need Castillo to win 10 games to be able to offset us not having Kirby in the rotation right now. We need him to do his fucking thing. We are not going to make baby excuses for them already. Let's move to Saturday night. Miller, again, I don't like the quality start stat. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan when you want me to hang my head on Austin quality start when he had 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, all 3 runs he gave up were earned, walked 2 guys, also gave up a bomb with a 4 ERA right now. Yes, I'm complaining like it's the middle of the year, but I'm not letting these bums off the hook this year. We are not going to do that with these guys. We need pressure to fucking metal. Damn right, Sunday evening media. RG is right. I goddamn is.
Castillo
Telling you,
gave up
man,
2 earned runs, and we lose 7 to
don't give a
nothing.
shit.
That is,
Don't give a
he's the
shit.
furthest
I
from the
don't give a
problem.
shit. I don't give a shit. He's part of the problem. He's part of the problem. We should have got rid of his ass in the offseason for a fucking bat. For a fucking bat. Then today, Wu comes in and does what he's supposed to do, like the Andy Pettitte of our pitching staff, like the Yankees had back then in the early 2000s. Came in, got everything settled down, and Mr. Overpriced, overpaid Julio finally found a fucking ball in the strike zone and hit it 475 feet. Other than that, we almost lost the first series of the year to a bunch of homeless foster kids from Northern California who don't have a place to lay their head, who played a little league fucking baseball stadium. I'm not letting the Mariners off the hook this year for their petty performances and then looking at, oh, this guy's great. We had 92 quality starts. And we also didn't make the fucking playoffs. It's all or nothing right now. I'm in championship mode, baby. Philadelphia Eagles, bringing that type of energy. If you ain't here to win that shit, then I ain't here to put up with your bullshit.
Well, we got
Go Mariners.
158 more to go, man. We got
I know, and
158
I'm
more
not
to
ready
go.
for this shit already. Ready for it to already
Hey,
be over.
I'm a back Castillo till I'm blue in the face on this one. You're right. For me to compare it directly to Gilbert, that's a little bit blasphemy, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. In baseball, you are one pitch away from having a gem. And the problem is this what we've been complaining about, oh, and especially you. We got 2 runs per game. We got 2 runs per game, bro. And you're right. Quality starts is like a C plus, B minus in school. I mean, you're gonna pass. We can pass you. But here's the real point: is with this anemic offense, we're not going anywhere. The only guy that really hit this weekend was Jorge Polanco. Thank the Lord for Jorge. But I want to ask you a question. You're the biggest LG, the OG fan that I know, bro. 83 pitches in, absolutely shoving it. The Mariners pull him out. Does Dan Wilson have any managerial power, or is this still a team going to be completely run by analytics?
You already know the answer to that question. Should have rolled that dude till the wheels fall off. And yes, Texas Power Ranger, I'm gonna sit here and talk a whole bunch of shit about this bear. You got a World Series ring. I don't. You've been to the dance. We haven't. Need efforts that'll get us to the dance, and we already coming out here like we're trying to play for third place.
Woo. Some of
Randy
them
did
teams
get
are
robbed a
really
bunch
good.
this weekend. Randy did have some good at bats, hitting the ball hard. But where the hell was everybody else at? Where the hell was the guy we just gave $105 million extension to, who cost me a great parlay that was built? And that's part of my anger as well, too.
Dude, we got to get into the rest of this league too. But here's the bottom line, man: is I agree with like what a lot of these guys are saying, but there's an element to luck in baseball. But here's the facts, RG. The straight facts about the Mariners hitting to start the season. There is 25 runners left on base. We're 2 for 19 with runners in scoring position. On Sunday's game 4, they had nobody even touch second base as a runner, and we struck out 41 times in 4 games. Bro, as much as I believe in this pitching staff, this is unsustainable long term.
Dude, where's the Edgar effect? Where's the Edgar effect? The fact that we finally got the guy who we wanted to be in charge of hitting. Now, of course, we only get that half-ass as well too, because he's sitting somewhere telling him what to do instead of being out there working with him. I we all well, I'm already frustrated, man. I'm already frustrated. It ain't even April 1st yet. I hate when baseball does this to me. Ah, You got the evil empire who, if you listen quietly, just hit another home run at 10 o'clock at night, East Coast, and we're sitting here 2 runs a game already. Jesus.
Hey, man, you're talking about the Yankees right now. Tyson Baxter, what's up? Let's just look at some of the different ball clubs in baseball right now. In one weekend, the Yankees scored 36. In a weekend, the Orioles scored 24. And in a 4 game series, our beloved Mariners scored 8. And you know what? What worries me even more, RG, is some of what I've seen is missing cookies.
Yes.
That concerns me. Long because sometimes you tip your hat to the pitcher. Mason Miller made us his bitch on Saturday night. Dude, that
Yes,
shit's
he
gonna
did.
happen with that dude sometimes. But I see our guys missing middle 93, and in the big leagues, you gotta do damage, or
Absolutely.
like I said, unsustainable.
And it's not that you need to hit the ball 500 feet when you press there. Put it against the wall in dead center. Shoot the gap. Get running. Here's the thing that killed me the most. We finally bunt to move 2 runners over, but we do it from the bottom of the deck where it can't lead to anything but for it to be unproductive. Then, in traditional Mariner fashion, Bliss has a chance to still score on the play, and for some reason, the baseball guys lift his foot as he's about to touch home plate, and they end up tagging him out on it. It's almost mind boggling to me that we have a baseball game where the Mariners are Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with my server tonight. You just got me. You got me. You got me. Even my internet server don't want me to talk Mariners already. Ruining my mood.
You short circuited that bitch, man. We seen that happen in cartoons when we were kids. You just got that thing all hyped up and short circuited it. Nah, man. I love to see this raw emotion and passion, man. This is fantastic, dude. So we missed a lot on that right there for you. And I just want to say
Well,
another thing that's unsustainable before I throw it back to you in the low block is both wins were like on 8 inning heroic homers. You can't just rely on heroic homers at the end of the game all the time.
absolutely. It's like we rely on the impossible to be able to get things done, either 8 inning comebacks or 15 game winning streaks later on in the season. We just need to play better, dog. I know it's the first week. I know it's the first week. Some of this is meant to be comical, but a lot of it comes from a place of frustration where I'm just not willing to give passes already for some of the shit that we've already seen. Meredith's Lifer and Ginger Fit Dad happened to hear me when I was talking about the fact that Bliss could have scored on that play, and the
Hmm.
baseball guys lift his leg to not let him touch home plate and just make more of the, oh no, see, that's why you shouldn't bunt. We did it right, just in the wrong position, and got a terrible outcome out of it. And then now it might move us away from fucking manufacturing runs, which other teams seem to do well already, and we can't get a grip on.
Well, if you want to manufacture runs, you got to put the ball in play, and striking out 41 times in 4 games is not exactly consistently putting pressure on the D. That's for sure.
Jesus, man, that's something for the succotash.
Yeah, I mean
Got me
you're right
sounding
though
like
too.
Pronghorn Leghorn of this
Sometimes you
motherfucker.
just can't do things right, and we're still 2-2. And it's baseball too. The beauty of it is we can get worked up so bad in the moment, which I do, and then I'm completely over it. It's baseball, but this is the beauty of the game, man. And Tyson might be right. The Mariners might need to make a big trade. I don't know if it's in the books. If y'all notice, the Seattle Mariners have a Nintendo patch on their left arm, which is supposed to bring in X amount of dollars. But RG, is that going to be reinvested in the product, or is that going right into the profit margin? I would guess the latter.
Unfortunately, we know the answer to that question without even
Yeah,
having to post it.
no doubt, no doubt.
Tell me you a cheap ass without telling me you a cheap ass.
It's frugal if it only affects you. It's cheap when it affects other people.
Sick of those fucking lose to a team that doesn't even have a baseball park to play in. God
Oh
damn it.
boy. Oh boy. It was fun though. I can't lie. It was so fun to have baseball back, man. And I've been texting everyone that meme right now where if you're a Mariners fan, you are already ready to have your heartbeat broken, bro. But guess what? So here's the thing. We both agreed that the Texas Rangers were going to have a bounce back season. They start 3-1. Two really, really good teams in the AL East are 2-2. That's the Orioles, and I forgot the Blue Jays are primed for a bounce back as well. There's a lot of competition in the American League, and the Mariners simply need to get their acts together, or maybe this just isn't that talented of a ball club. We'll find out.
The one that's already shaping up to be really interesting is the NL West. The Dodgers and the Padres are both undefeated, just on a collision course with each other. That's going to end up being the series that's going to end up being the matchup that everyone pays attention to outside of your favorite team is what's going on there in Southern California. That's the one that I'm looking forward to the most. Dodgers run out a Cy Young Award winner or the best pitcher in Japan every other fucking night. It seems just the heroics that they get too from Mookie Betts losing what 20 pounds on that Korea trip looks like a shell of himself, and all he does is hit a walk off home run to win in the game the other night. Just I know it's the best team that money can buy, but in this NIL world and everybody wants to bag and this, that, and the other, go spend some fucking money on some goddamn talent.
Well, and you still got to get the right guys. We see big spenders not accomplish the goal often. Hell, the Dodgers have been one of those teams. They've been one of the most consistent teams of the last 15 years. They have made countless World Series, but they have not capitalized every time. Money doesn't buy you everything. You still got to pick the right players.
Shit. Money doesn't buy us everything. Well, we don't know what it's like to spend money. So what the hell are we talking about?
Well, shit, if you get to $1 billion, apparently everything's free at that point. But
Yes, it is.
okay, so I want to get into this right away because we see the dudes talking about the New York Yankees and these torpedo bats, bro. The proof is in the pudding. Now, granted, dangerous team, lots of money spent. But that's 36 runs in 3 games. The Yankees hired a quote literal genius MIT physicist to help design a better bat. I noticed on the logo they are built by Louis and manufactured by Louisville Slugger, which leads me to believe that anybody in the league could possibly get these bats made for them. I don't know. There could be some proprietary legalese that prevents the other MLB teams from doing so. But honestly think it would be great for the game, RG, to get a little more action on offense. The pitchers have been kicking ass and taking names for many years now, but that still doesn't absolve these teams from going all or nothing. Baseball, walks, strikeouts, homers. But it's fun to see the ball batted around, dude. I can't lie.
Dude, that's what they came for. It's what they have altered this game to be. Is back to the McGuire Sosa days. The chicks dig the long ball. That's
Mm.
absolutely what they want out of baseball. They do not want Greg Maddux up there throwing 89 miles an hour and no one can touch him for 9 innings because that's not going to drive a single fucking rating. That's not going to make anybody in the overseas markets tune in. It's not going to make the analytic nerds go crazy. What they want to see is offense, and they have found a way to be able to inject it. No matter who your team is, if you were paying attention to any type of sports ticker on Saturday, it was what do they do? How many more runs? Judge hit how many? God damn. They took Nestor Cortez to the fucking wood shop. I'm going to steal a phrase from my favorite wrestling commentator, Mr. Jim Ross, and they whooped that boy like a government mule. Like there was some type of beef that they had with him in the locker room prior to him leaving and going to Milwaukee. Just 3 pitches, 3 home runs. It's like they couldn't wait for Nestor Cortez to come back to the Bronx. and slap that dude around like he owed them money. I get that they play in a Mickey Mouse ballpark. I get it. I get it, but they always have. But if you hitting the ball into the gaps in Yankee Stadium, that's not a short feat. That's a that's a muscle to be able to get the ball into those places. And if they play in the Mickey Mouse Park, why aren't the rest of Major League Baseball parks built like that? If it's going to give your team an offensive advantage, um, again, man, just amazing to see. Good stats, good for the fandom of the game to have something to cheer for. I just do not want to get stuck in this rut where we're relying on World Series style pitching performances from our pitching staff because our offense can't manufacture more than just a handful of runs a game.
Hmm. Hmm.
Already trending in that direction, and that is not good for the first 4 days of the season.
Absolutely not. And then to top it off, man, I don't think it's been very clean in the field either. And if you're a team that's going to rely heavily on pitching, you're going to rely heavily on run prevention, then fielding is a gigantic part of it. I think it was on Friday night or Saturday night, must have been Saturday night on the close loss. And there's a little pop up in the infield, and nobody calls off the pitcher. The ball ends up dropping. The guy gets a fucking double on a pop up that's between the third baseman, the catcher, and the pitcher. That absolutely cannot happen. And if we expect to even really, really compete, we got to play clean baseball because we know at best they're going to be a mediocre hitting team. And I still have some faith. I still have some faith, but damn it, things need to turn around because it what we're seeing, the eye test and the math is telling us 2-2 is not going to be a sustainable record based on how they're playing right now.
Alternating wins and losses like that is going to end up with us in third place, looking at two teams above us.
Hmm. And there's good teams, so we got to play good baseball. Texas and Houston aren't going to lay down. They're going to play good ball this year. The Mariners have to match
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. No matter who they lose, no matter who they don't resign, the Astros are still going to be the big brother.
Hmm.
A World Series caliber team is still going to come back out there and give you everything they got in Texas. We better hope to God the Angels don't find a way to keep fire. But these are not the shitty Oakland A's who are trying to tank for any type of position or whatnot. These homeless bastards are out here to play ball. Your boy Brett Rooker, man, just
Woo!
your boy.
I would have traded almost anything for him. Light me up as much as you want. I would have traded one of our top prospects for Brent Roker. I don't give a damn that he quote doesn't play a fucking position. The guy hits for average and power in today's game. That's like finding a diamond in the rough.
What position did Big Poppy play?
DH.
Thank you.
What
Doesn't,
about our hometown
doesn't
favorite?
matter.
They call it the fucking Edgar Martinez Award. Shit,
Doesn't
man.
matter. Doesn't
And it,
fucking matter.
oh, okay, I'm gonna rant then too, dude. The never-ending problem right now with the Mariners. Third base, first base, and DH need to be production positions, and they seem to be the least productive positions for the Mariners ever since we got rid of Suarez.
And what has that dude done since he's
We
been
would
in
take the
Arizona?
230 strikeouts in a second right now for that production, bro.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. We're
And
damned
the
if we
love
do. We're
and the
damned if we don't. Damned if we do, damned if we don't. Gonna end up platooning guys on the corner all year, which it isn't going to pay off well for us. But again, maybe they know something that we don't, and we should calm down a little bit after 4 games. But guess what? I'm not going to, because that's what you
well, you
came
got
for.
me riled up, bro. And I agree though. It's also the fun in it, dude. Do we want to be a zombie baseball fan, or do you actually want to have fun with this thing?
I love it. Like you said, I had to get off a bleacher just because of some of the ass backwards just opinions that'll be on there. But of course, one of the dudes already after night one, this team can hit was like, no, it can't. We got bailed out. We got bailed out. And then we get to the next 2 nights and it's obvious that this team can't hit. And then we
Hmm.
get to the day. And if it wasn't for Julio's home run, we'd have gone down 3-1 to the homeless A's. Just no,
Ooh.
no, 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 no. Something has got to change and it needs to change immediately.
Well, we
We
got the
can't.
0-3
What'd you
Tigers.
say last week? We can't win the division. I mean, we can't win the World Series this week, but we damn sure can put ourselves in a position to not be able to compete for it if we don't start manufacturing runs.
I firmly believe that statement too, dude. I firmly believe it. Because everyone always tells you when you get emotional early in the season, and it's true. You can't win the division or go to the World Series in the first month, but if you do shitty enough, I promise you, you can dig yourself a hole you can't get out of.
True. And I hear you, Ginger Fit Dad. It may really seem that we're just trying to hammer down on him. Maybe I am a little bit, but I'm just not willing to give this the sky has a silver lining approach to this team anymore. We've been teased a whole lot. We've been promised some things over the last 3 seasons that we were going to build, and put money behind it. Then when it came time to put paper down on the table, the paper was nowhere to be found. The spending was nowhere to be found. We are running it back with the same team last year. That, don't forget, if us blowing that 10-game lead happened later in the year and compared to June, we'd be one of the laughing stocks of baseball. I get it. Oh, overfatting is a baseball right, and absolutely, it's what we're supposed to do. We're, we'll there were some good things that happened, but the good things that happened were very minuscule to the things that, hey, this is already looking like it was supposed to. Yeah, the A's had breaks in the series, but that's just the way it goes, though. But we also didn't do anything to help ourselves out with. You can't sit there and be excited that we averaged 2 runs a game in this series against this team, and and think that something's okay with the way that it got started. We needed a hot start, and that's not what we got.
Well, we can still easily make it up, but here is why I've been on how I've been feeling, RG. It's only been 4 games, but I had 2 fears for the Mariners this year, amongst way more positives. But there's 2 fears that could sink this ship, and that's lack of bullpen depth and an anemic offense. Both those things can turn around. We're 2-2 playing a pretty, I would say, we haven't lived up to our potential so far in these 4 games. The Mariners have way more potential in the tank, RG. Potential gets coaches fired. What matters is production. But I still stand on it, man. I saw a bullpen that didn't have any depth and a lineup that was completely inept and overwhelmed at times. And to top it off, the third, I'm not a big fan of what I'm seeing in the field overall. This is still a pretty talented team, but man, you've been saying it for 3 years now, or ever since I met you, man. We're riding these pitchers so hard, man. We got to help these dudes out.
Having a generational talented pitching staff means nothing if we're giving 5 guys the Felix every week. And it's not going to be like this always. We'll have some strains where we're actually putting good wood to the ball and being able to manufacture some runs. Just the I just wasn't a fan of trying to run it back with these guys and not doing more to it. You're expecting the same group of guys to be better without helping them. Now, when Cal gets going, we'll absolutely see. But what if Cal gets off to one of those slow starts like Julio did last year? We can't afford that. We need a Rosarena to have a great year with where he's hitting in the lineup. We need production. We need production. I love Ronnie Tez. I love Ronnie Tellez, dude. Rowdy Tellez. I hope that dude turns into the beast he once used to be. But again, we're talking about retread tires, which is what the Mariners offense is almost built out of, other than the guys we pay $100 million to. Victor Robles, hey man, that might be the unsung hero of what our team is, but we need everybody to get playing better. Detroit comes in town tomorrow. Let's see if we can get something rolling.
Let's freaking go, man. You'll love this, right, RG? Me and Keith are already sending like happy texts and angry texts to each other. So you know it's baseball season, bro. I want to just get Ginger Fit Dad. Great minds think alike. I wrote down right here to remind myself Matt Brash and Troy Taylor need to come back ASAP. Don't rush them back. The last thing we need is for both of them to be out for a year plus. But I'm looking at Trent Thornton, Taylor Saucedo, and Bizardo are all maybe on the hot seat. I finally got my witch, and Carlos Vargas got to pitch some major league action, RG, and he gave up 3 hits and a solo bomb in an inning and a third. So clearly he is all stuff and no pitching right now. I still believe in him because only a few rare humans can touch 100 miles per hour on a fastball. But man, we really need Brash Taylor back, and I wonder if there's any arms in the minor leagues or anyone we can pick up off the waiver wire because I don't have a lot of confidence in Thornton, Saucedo, and Bizardo.
A lot of baseball left to be played, but we need these margins to trend in a different direction. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Oh man, what a series though! What a series! It's a good reminder to everyone in the league though. The A's aren't going to just lie down. This isn't your 110 loss A's of a couple years ago. This is a vastly better ball club, and they even brought in a couple of free agents like Severino, who had a really good opening day start to at least keep his team in the ball club while Logan was dealing.
True that. True that, man. Good to see Severino be able to find a home, be valued, and hope, I wish them the best, man, for the sake of baseball, for the sake of us being fans of the same sport. Wish the A's the best, man, for real. Don't oh wish them the best. That just has to be fucking tough for them. Has to be pain wrecking for the people of Oakland in 5 years to lose everything that you've had. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna get into the weeds about what Oakland has become because things don't become like that without help or negligence. But just sad for them, man, to lose everything that made them once exciting and then now have to travel to the other side of the bay to try to make games and then even farther once that stadium gets built. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a certified athletics at Twitch hater. Oh man, it's crazy shit for those dudes. Crazy shit. But also, we got the Tigers coming in and they put up a hell of a fight against the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
They're very well built team that doesn't rely on superstar antics to be able to get them to where they want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So we might not have a cakewalk with them. We got your boy Emerson Hancock on the mound tomorrow. So hope for the best for him. Hopefully the ship gets righted. Um, I thought Julio did a lot of pressing over the first 4 games already. Um, Definitely need his bat to get going, need Cal to get going. 158 games left to be able to prove us wrong. But God damn it, put the effort in. Put the
Yeah,
effort
no
in.
doubt. No doubt, man. Well, shoot, the Detroit Tigers crushed the Mariners season last year in 2 series. They whooped our ass in 2 critical series, and that was, you could easily point to one of the biggest, if not the biggest, turning point in the Mariners not making the playoffs by a game yet again. Bro, it's just so fun to have baseball back. It is so fun to have baseball back. I love
Oh,
it.
it's
It's
awesome.
too late. My wife goes upstairs for game 1, and then all of a sudden she's just like, why are you screaming so much downstairs? Baseball's back, baby.
It sure is. It sure is. Now, I do want to offer an apology because of the technical difficulties that we had last week. Didn't get a chance for you all to follow along with my opening day degeneration, and it happened to hit. So, as we move forward, maybe we'll find a way for them to drop on Wednesday. It's kind of hard to talk on Sunday night about what's coming up because I haven't looked at anything. But definitely, if you follow us on our socials, at least by Wednesday, I have an idea on some ways for you to break the bank as we happen to move forward with baseball season. But I love it, man. I love it. And these guys will tell you me and our super producer Indy, who likes to follow me with some of the plays that we make, we were a Cal Raleigh home run away from some stupid shit going down. And of course, he struck out his last at bat. But I do want to give a shout out to y'all in the chat, man. Y'all called that Ole Miss victory last week, so hope everybody got a chance to play it and put a little greenbacks in your pocket.
Let's go, baby. Well, there's no better way to transition, man. How is your bracket and how is your bet so far? We're down to the final four.
So I talked about the model that we play where, we try to chase and follow the underdog. This particular season was not the season for that. The favorites won at a rate that just completely put us behind the 8 ball. Give me a second to pull that stat up. All right. So if you did 100 on every game in the first and second round and you picked all favorites to win, you went 37-18, but since some of those lines were blown up, you lost a total of $18. If you did all underdogs to win, underdogs win 11-37. And if you put 100 on each game, $1,800 loss you suffered over the first weekend. If you picked the favorites to all cover, favorites win 29-19 for what would have been a $737 profit. If you picked underdogs to cover, underdogs only covered in 19 to 29 games, you would have lost $1,000.
Ooh.
NIL has almost killed any chance of Cinderella stories. Four number one seeds make the Final Four. The majority of the Elite Eight matchups, all except for one, were 1 versus 2 and 1 versus 3. The playing field has widened again in college basketball. Might have to change the way we play that model moving forward in the next NCAA tournament next year.
So it hurt your betting model, but does it hurt college basketball in totality or not? What's your opinion on that?
It gets the brand names in front, and it's built on brand names, so it definitely helps for it. What you will never going to see it, or it'll be a long time before you get to see it again, as a school like St. Peter's make that type of run as a
Mm,
15 seed. We were lucky in the last 5 years to get 2 16 teams beating ones. That's definitely not going to happen anymore moving forward in this brand new world. It's going to be too hard for the mid majors and lower majors to be able to keep talent around. It's going to be hard for them to be able to keep coaching talent around. I can talk for my New Mexico Lobos. We were 9 seed going into the tournament. Right after the game, our head coach gets a job at Xavier. Our best player, Donovan Dick, gets the bag to go home to California to play for UCLA. Our best wing defender is a sophomore. He's out. Uh, two guys on the bench who could have made a difference in at least some conference games. They're both out. Um,
mhm.
just it's just going to be hard for a small school to be able to stack the pieces they need to be able to compete with the big dogs. It all just depends on what you're a fan of. If you're a fan of domination by the big boys, you're going to love the way that this tournament runs out. If you're a guy who likes the unpredictability of the tournament, those opportunities aren't going to be around as much as they used to be.
Mhm. Mhm. Very well said, man. I just think it's kind of fascinating. And it really is just kind of how you cheer as a fan, or if you have any alumni associations, you're gonna really feel one way or the other. You just mentioned your New Mexico Lobos just got gutted immediately after the tournament. I don't even think the transfer portal is technically open yet. But I was just looking at this
Oh, it
one too,
is.
dude.
It
Okay.
is. That's one
Well,
of
it's
the arguments
basically
about it is that it's open during the tournament.
okay, that's whack, dude. I don't like that at all. And I'm all for player movement. They got to do something about that, though. That's not good. That's not
And I'm
cool.
trying to find the post. There was a kid who they had just lost, and before he left the locker room, announced he was going into the portal.
Damn. Damn. I don't know if you saw this, dude. It was at the bowl game that Alabama played in. And although this young man is declared for the NFL draft, Jalen Milrow was on the in the tunnel filming an NIL hype video just as that bowl game was, they're getting ready to warm up, etc. So this is where we are in that action. I just want to add something interesting I found. The 2023 Florida Atlantic team that made the Final Four, their three top scorers are all on different Sweet 16 teams. So there we go again. There's all sorts of instances we can point to, such as your Lobos or the Florida Atlantic Owls, where these smaller programs are getting gutted immediately
And I
and
want to
finding
say their
themselves.
coach is the coach of Michigan. And I want to say the guy who led that team is the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines right now,
Um, one of
Dusty
their
May.
player, one of those three players is at Michigan, so that wouldn't
Yeah, yeah,
surprise me.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. And so this is what's kind of disappointing too, RG, because I feel that in the NCAA tournament, the cream always rises. Like for most of our lives, it's been complete unpredictability in the first two rounds, but the Sweet 16 and on, you never see a team actually win it all. Butler came really close. NC State was kind of before our time. That's still not that crazy, really. I just want to look at what's going to disappoint me is I don't think we're going to see a Steph Curry with Davidson upsetting Gonzaga. We're not going to see CJ McCollum with Lehigh upsetting Duke. We're not going to see Damian Lillard with Weber State. And I always thought that was one of the most fun parts about the college basketball tournament is random dudes on random programs show up, shine, and then they turn into NBA studs and stars because, yeah, that hidden gem was that damn good and he was there for that damn long. That's probably not happening anymore, is it?
Nah, those days are definitely toast, man. Them
Mhm.
days is definitely Gonzalez. A
Well,
little
you
bit
better
sad to
love the
see.
Blue Bloods. The
Hey.
Cowboys and Yankees fans in the world are cheering.
Hey, man, if that's the way that it's trending, as long as we don't get a Cowboy Super Bowl, I'm all right.
I agree with Tyson though. It's been a fun tournament though. Dudes play hard. The dudes play
It still
hard.
has. It still has. What is the trend that I've paid attention to is a good team gets up 10, it's over. A good
Mhm.
team gets down bad by 10, and they're still making a comeback and winning the game, i.e., Florida versus Texas Tech. Texas Tech had them by 9 with less than 3 minutes to play, and Florida hit 4 straight threes. Just unreal the way that these games all kind of swung and stayed in that kind of window. If the team you were cheering for went down, I can even talk about my Lobos. We were up 10, and
Yep.
the better team beat us by 10.
Hmm.
Just huge
I
swings,
didn't text
huge
you at
swings.
all. I was watching that and cheering for you, for your Lobos. I was not going to be the man to jinx your shit. I was like, I'm gonna just be quiet about this and let this game play out. And
Yeah,
sadly, it kind of went how we thought it might, even when
we
they
did.
got out to that fantastic start.
Sure did. Just you missed 2 3 times down the court. They convert, momentum's flip just like that.
Hmm.
Momentum's
Hmm.
flip just like that. But we did hire a new coach, the guy who was the coach of UC San Diego, who really was the one underdog that had the most fight in it because they were down 12 to Michigan and came back and had a shot to win that game at the end. Um, so that guy is now our new head coach. He had been with UC San Diego for the last 12 years while they were Division Two.
Mm.
This was the first year they were eligible to play in the tournament, being Division One. Had a 30-4 record without a guy over 6'8" on his team. Now, a lot of that is on who you play as well too. So, well, I'm going to give him a shot to see what he can do. He has 3 seasons to get us to the tournament. I'm calling for his head.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That seems like a longer leash than the UW Huskies have, but we're in disarray up here in the hoops program. But we don't even need to get into that one.
Yeah, man. But hey, if you like superstar talent, you got the Final Four you wanted. Believe the matchups are Houston and Duke, and then you got Florida and Auburn. So out of the 14 teams that made it from the SEC, you got 2 of them in the Final Four. I'm going to go on ahead and say that that's a huge success for them this year. They
Hmm.
may have they may have watched the Big Ten win back to back national championships in football, but they have also proven that they can now bark in basketball too. So you better hope that they don't win the national championship in football, or we're right back to living in the SEC's bubble.
That's not where we reside over here. Even though, let's be
You
real,
shut the hell up.
I easily watch the most of SEC college football.
Absolutely, as you should. As you should.
Saturday night, do I want to watch the mediocre Huskies versus Purdue? Or do I want to see Alabama LSU? I mean, come on, let's be real
I'm
here.
telling you. I'm telling you, I want to see two. I want to see two me. I want to see two mid-level NFL teams go at it with all the money that's behind their product.
Well, you know all about what that conference can do for a football team, don't you?
Sure can. Sure can. And if you weren't paying attention, the Eagles just signed the Giants' best pass rusher, and guess where he went to school at?
No, we know. Your Georgia Bulldogs. That's great scouting, though, man. I got to give the Eagles props, though, too, because look at what Georgia's been the last 2 years. and they even have, you know, probably three, four first round, second round type of defenders yet again for this year's draft. They won those two championships mainly on the back of that fantastic defense. Your Eagles didn't fuck around. They didn't try to get cute. That's the best program. They have the best players. They are absolute dogs led by a defense. Get as many of those guys as you can. Sometimes in all sports, these guys just over and outthink the room when the obvious is staring you in the face, and they got them a fucking Super Bowl.
Sure did, and hopefully we can keep it going. So let's take a sports break real quick. Tell me about that pretty blue shirt you're wearing.
Let's go, baby. Right here. My, oh my. It's another sports podcast. Thank you to my wonderful wife. Thank you to the wonderful thing called the internet and people bringing the products to the door. We got a little swag now. It's in that Mariners baby blue, that beautiful turquoise that George Kenneth Griffey Jr. wore so wonderfully. We might talk shit about our team. It is all because we love them so damn much. You get your heart broken enough times, the love turns into frustration. And that's what happens sometimes. But my, oh my,
What's on the sleeve? What's on the sleeve there?
there we go.
So if you scan that QR code when you see Tyler out about the streets of the Pacific Northwest, that'll take you to a link to where you can help follow and support the show. And I got this crazy idea. Why don't we find a way to hook up some of the people who've been rocking with us in the live chat to my own my swag? If
We
that's something
absolutely
that
will.
y'all are interested in, go on ahead and start posting some comments in the chat, and we'll see how we can make that happen over the next few weeks. But yeah, man, fresh off the presses, man, it looks good on you.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it, man. And thank you to my wonderful wife for helping out. We truly enjoy doing this. And RG's right. We would love to send you out a little present on our behalf because of how grateful for we are for all the homies in the live chat, man. We were doing this show before we went YouTube live, and it's gotten exponentially better because of the live chat, bringing the fire, dropping the knowledge, telling the jokes. That's why we shout you out every time.
We sure do, man. This show isn't doesn't grow the way that it has without you being a part of it. Answer your question, Tyson Batcher, who has been in the chat the longest. Ginger Fit Dad and Mariners Lifer and a Sunday Evening Media are were the first three that I recognized coming back once we started the live format. When you joined, and the thing that still makes me really proud is Texas Power Ranger. For him to not be a fan of the Mariners, for him to just like the way that we have non drink the Kool Aid opinions about our teams and who we cheer for. And he was like, "Hey, I'm a fan of your competitor and I'm going to follow your show." So big shout out to all of you guys. Tay Williams, man, Texas, Tyson Baxter, Mariners Lifer, Ginger Fit Dad, Sunday Evening Media, the appearances that Jerry B6 has made, the appearances that Eric Neal has made, and we still would love for one of you guys to come join us live on this side of the microphone one of your Sundays, free as well too. Just grateful that you guys have given us an audience to listen to this platform, and that you guys has helped us grow. So we would definitely love to put some of this swag in your hand if you're willing to rep it, and tell people to scan the QR code and follow the show.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And just a really broad view of this whole thing too, RG. It's so crazy for me to think that we grew up on AM, FM radio, and tape cassettes. To think that we have somehow done something with a producer from Nashville, a brother from Albuquerque, and a half and half up here in beautiful Western Washington. It's a beautiful thing, man. And we sometimes complain about the technologies of the world, but this is one of the beautiful things that can happen because of how connected the world is today.
True, and I want to give a shout out to our boy Borky McGork. At least that's what he goes by on Bleacher. He's been following us since me and Tyler were a part of another show. That's how we got to meet and decided it would be better for us to forge four together, one band, one sound. Not to sound corny, but the show was a star, and you guys are just as part as this show as we are. And yeah, man, just couldn't do it. Hey, happy to have you, man. Know you came to hate, but I stayed for the vibes, man. Texas Power Ranger, big shout out to you. So yeah, man, just happy to have everybody. Baseball's back. Let's have some fun as we move forward. And man, may the best teams win. Root, root, root for the Mariners to still 10 toes down, true to the blue. I just wish we did some things differently from my perspective.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, we've said it a million times, man. We were shopping at that great value spaghetti prices. We're buying the Monarch vodka. We got some good steak at home, man, but you got to have a little bit of seasoning to that shit or it really don't matter. I'm still so pumped, though. Baseball is just that 6 month. And if you're lucky enough, it'll turn into seventh month ride up and down, up and down. And we still got 158 of these, baby.
Sure do. Sure do. And a lot of other great sports still coming in too. The NBA playoffs is getting ready to
Oh,
get geared up
hell yeah.
here in a couple weeks. Masters is getting ready to get started. My boy Ovechkin, baby, is 5 goals away from breaking the all-time scoring record. And the Capitals are in a good position and and for a good deep run. Stay away from no run first inning best tomorrow. A lot of bad pitchers. That's why I said I'm not giving anything out tomorrow. I'm not a real big fan of the slate. But in the opening day, one that I was hoping to give out, had we not had the technical difficulties, I went Paul Skeens, 6 strikeouts. He got 7. Went the Red Sox to win outright. They won 5-3. And I went no run first inning, Dodgers Tigers. Then they came out on top for us. So we'll kind of keep it there in that wheelhouse. What we'll do 3 legs. And I'm not one of these dudes who will tell you to play something that I don't play. I'll show you my ticket. I'll show you what I put on it. And hey, let's get this thing together, man. Let's get this thing together.
Let's freaking go, man. Okay, I got a couple of questions then. Who you got the rest of the way for the NCAA tournament?
I'm still sticking with Florida.
Okay.
I'm sticking with Florida. I sticking with them to beat sticking with them to beat Auburn, and I just think that their overall talent is a lot better than Duke's freshman talent.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna toot my own horn a little bit, man. I actually got 7 of the 8 elite eights right and 2 of the 4 final fours. It's a lot easier when there isn't massive upsets, though. Let's just put it like that. I got another question for you, then, man. You brought up your boy Alexander the Great Ovechkin. You said 5 goals from passing the great Wayne Gretzky, one of the most hallowed records in all of sports. A record a lot of people thought would not be broken. That leads me to my question. Just give me a couple of records in any sport that you feel will not ever be broken, or a record you just saw broken in any time in your life that you thought was incredible.
Pete Rose's hit record
Okay.
not gonna be broken.
Oh shit, yeah, seriously.
Steph Curry's threes made not going to be broken. LeBron 50,000 points not going to be broken.
Mm,
Usain Bolt's 100 time not going to be broken.
interesting. No one's come close to Usain since. Probably been a couple of Olympics since then, I think.
Noah Lau, Ricky Henderson still record.
Ooh, great one.
That's a good
Great.
one, Mariners lifer. That's a very good one, Mariners lifer.
I'm going with
Um,
Emmett Smith's rushing yards.
yeah,
No one's getting
I don't see
16,000
anyone. I don't want to
something.
see anyone doing that. Cy Young's win record, um, and strikeouts too,
Yeah.
and strikeouts. Um, NASCAR, I don't. I have guys who I cheer for in NASCAR, but I don't follow it enough to be able to use this platform to give an opinion on it.
Mm.
Um, I like Bubba Wallace, of course. Um, I loved the Earnhardt boys. I loved dad and son Earnhardt back in the day. I like the I like watching that Vegas Grand Prix just because I think it's amazing how they turn the strip in Vegas into a racetrack and how they elevate the streets and that crazy shit that goes into that. Richard Petty's 200 wins, yeah, you're probably right there too. Tyson Baxter, that ain't
Mm,
nobody touching that. So there's still some that are there that'll stand for a very long time. Um, Longevity has a lot to do with it with LeBron's. Um, keep in mind the guys who passed Jordan on that list all played at least 4 to 5 more seasons than he did.
mm.
So longevity is a great, great
It's
part to
huge.
do with a lot of that. So yeah, I still think that there's some untouchables out there.
Hmm.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy though, man. And it's not like it's a disrespect thing. I don't think LeBron James is the best basketball player ever. Nobody thinks Pete Rose is the best baseball player ever. I call that sustained excellence, and that needs to be cheered for in a huge way. It just doesn't mean you're the best though either. And you know I love LeBron, but you know who I'm a ride with till I go.
See, and I like the fact that the chat is interactive and throwing out darts to us as well too. Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost 25 games in a row in the 70s or 80s. Doubt anyone was doing that.
The Yucks.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. Even as bad as the White Sox were last year, or did they set the record for most losses in a season?
No,
They
they
came
had
pretty
to have
damn
been
close.
close.
They came pretty damn close.
They broke the golden rule of baseball that you're going to win 60, lose 60, and the other 42 is what matters.
Gross. Gross. Anything else you got for the chat, man?
my hey, baseball's back, and thank you to the live chat. Let's think of some more of these when we come back next time. Let's just keep thinking of some more records or events that we just think we won't see again.
True, absolutely.
Actually, I do want to
Absolutely.
give one more shout out. I want one more shout out, dude. You mentioned it briefly. Shout out to the Oakland fans. Shout out to the Oakland fans, man. It sucks so bad when the Seattle Supersonics moved. Oakland, it would be the equivalent of losing the Seahawks, the Sonics, and the Mariners. So shout out to the Oakland fans. It just must suck terribly.
Yeah, man. Just we're all fans of sports and we all have found things to cheer for. And I couldn't imagine what it would be like to live in a city that had 3 professional teams all say fuck you and just pack up and leave all within 5 years. Um, I like that one, Texas Power Ranger. The world boat speed record of 317 miles per hour has stood since 1978. 65% of attempts to beat it have been fatal.
Wow.
There's more to it than big engine plus small boat. Death wish anyone. Whew.
And
Yeah, I don't see nobody touching that. I don't see nobody touching that. I even when I'm riding a jet ski when we're vacationing down to Cabo, ride it like a little bitch just so I don't get thrown off of it. Yeah, because ain't no coming back from that, man. That's crazy. Oh, I got one too. Jack Nicklaus says 18 majors.
oh no way.
Yeah, 18 majors. That's not getting done. That's not getting done. Eldrick had a
No,
chance to, and no, that's not getting done.
he was the one that was going to have a chance. You're right, and that didn't happen.
Yes, sir. Fun little tidbits. Things that make sports go around and hey, make you learn something. Make you learn something.
Win a couple bar bets out there.
Dark
There we
side of
go.
the moon spinning night.
Oh shit, dude. The hippie side of me loves some Pink Floyd, bro.
It's crazy. It's and I know this is a sports podcast, but the thing that gets me is how music is consumed, and you have this new generation who will talk shit about Eminem, right? But I will tell you from a guy who lived in that era, it's something to be said about an artist that sold over 120 million records when you still had to leave your house, go to
Mhm.
your local music spot, drop $20 out, and that's what you intended to do for the day. That just didn't happen in the way it was gone. And for all the people who illegally downloaded it, that dude still sold 60 million copies of one album. Shit
Damn.
like that's not gonna happen again.
Damn.
50 Cent and Kanye played us because they had that competition. I don't know if you remember this. They both go on 106 in Park. 50 Cent is getting ready to drop, and Kanye's getting ready to drop Graduation. 50 said, if Kanye beats me in record sales, I'll stop rapping. And they made 3 million people get up and go to Best Buy and spend $20 on records. You ain't doing that. You may love Drake, you may love Kendrick, but you're giving your money to Apple, and Apple will then pay them a residual off the back end. You aren't doing that nowadays.
Woo.
And I think The Simpsons, I'll even throw another one in for pop
There
culture.
you go.
I think The Simpsons having the longest weekly episodic TV show in the history of it being a non-game show or non-soap opera. I don't think you'll get that ever again either.
That's a good one. That's a good one. TV shows have shelf lives too.
But you know what's always going to keep going and brand new? Episodes of My Own Minds and Other Sports Podcast. My Own
Bring that
Minds and
fire.
Other Sports Podcast brought to you by the good folks of Vaden Podcast Services. We're thankful for those of you who join us in the live chat each and every week. Follow us on our socials at My Oh My ASP. You can follow us live here on Sundays. If you can't catch us on Sundays, the episodes do drop Monday night, Tuesday morning on whatever platform you like to get your podcast from. Please join us on our socials at My Oh My ASP. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Snapchat, Instagram for the latest things. And as we move forward, I'll be putting my plays of the week up there, and hopefully we help make each other a little bit of dough. Don't forget to follow our super producer Indy's music page on YouTube. That's the Indy. Go check out some of his dope tracks. Big shout out to our social media director, Miss Katie Matsumoto, the designer of the new My Oh My and Other Sports podcast shirt. And for those of you interested in the live chat, drop us some links, man, and we'll get some of these in your hand and just help us grow the shows we move forward. Again, Vaden Podcast Services supports us and makes this show come to life every week. A big shout out to what they do out in Nashville, Tennessee. That's the homie Ty Talks, Lake Stevens, Washington. I'm that dude, RG for single, that little single down dirty, babe. Thank you for joining us each and every Sunday for another live broadcast of My Oh My. It's another sports podcast.